Welcome. Today we're going to do a guest research with me on a book called, let's just show it off, The Good Enough Job by, I guess I'd say Simon originally, but it's possibly Simone Stoltzoff. And this book is about job not needing to be like everything to you. It can just be good enough. Before we do that, though, we can find out ways to support the channel. Number 1, become a member, curtismchale.ca/membership. Number 2, take a course, curtismchale.ca/education. And if you are on SkillShare, you can take my courses there. There'll be links to all of that in the video description. So let's dive in and see how I take notes. So we start off, and I've talked about this before with book search. So book search, sorry, Ecamm has a little overlay that you can't see there. Book search fills in all this stuff up top for me. And so I do that, and actually I'm starting to keep track of all the books behind me as in my library owned, hardcover, and genre as well, which actually book search fills in the business, like the genre for me. Hardcover owned, I fill in according, and as well as my read status. And part of that actually populates if I come over here. Dashboard, so it actually populates the status, this stuff here, like what I'm reading, how many books I've read this year, and we can see Simone Stoltzoff, July 30th, finished it yesterday, it's 31st today as I record. I also finished Conspirituality this month as well, which I talked about in my members newsletter last Friday. What does that be? I don't know, a couple days ago. So that's what populates this, and those are just queries via tracker, right? That's a tracker query, and then this is a data view query, which I've talked about before as well in a video about tracking your books. So let's come in here though and look at this, The Good Enough Job. And so where do we start? So what we start with, I have a notebook. It's where I take many of my notes, not always. I was reading, again, 2 books at the same time, so I kept Conspirituality in Obsidian. I just pulled my laptop, my iPhone, my iPad, whatever I had at the time, and looked at, took the notes there, and then I was taking The Good Enough Job in this notebook. I actually prefer the notebook if I can, although again, if I have 2 books at the same time, then I will actually use Obsidian for one set of notes. So we're just going to start going through the notes. Another thing I do is, I don't know if you can see it here, page 176, you can see I put like a little tick at the bottom of the page when I have processed it. So pen is right here as well. And that is what is it, everyone wants to know. Uniball Jetstream 1.0, although I have some 0.5s coming because I think I prefer narrower. And I have the coffee over here as well, an ATP mug. Let's start with my first note, which is central theme is that workism is a particularly American and especially common among the privileged and working family, a fairly modern phenomenon. Workism is a fairly modern phenomenon. So central theme of is that workism. So I knew I already had that from a book called by Derek Thompson that I did recently. So let's see, can we look that up? What's it called? On Work, I think. On Work, Derek Thompson. Yeah, I think I already had that here. So I knew that workism was already in there from these notes here. And I think I'm not sure if I found this book because of, probably not, because this is based on his New Yorker articles. You can see workism on page 35. So I knew I had workism in there, so I tagged it. That's a tag note. See my tag note videos. Workism is a American. So this is aliases. If I opened up United States, you'd see American as an alias, right? If I United States, American, Americans, I can even say US, USA. Maybe 2 other good aliases for it. Is a particularly American. So the way this works is you can just do this with anything. Really, you can put in, this is the note in the pipe, and this is what you want it to be called or visually display as. And the pop over here comes from Strange New Worlds, which is a video on a while ago. It shows you new stuff. It's a particularly American thing, and actually common among privileged and on page XV. So ultimately, and I talk about this later in the book, is that workism is something that's new. So if you looked back to, I guess they talked about Greek times at least. I can't remember if it was Roman, but they talked about like if you had to work a lot, it was seen as you were not successful. That leisure was successful. This will be in the intro. I normally don't keep track of chapters until then. So now I have a book called Worked Over. I don't have it in there. So we'll open up a new tab. This is where we'll use book search. Book search, create new book note. Worked Over. It is by Jamie K. McCallum. Right, that one. So it'll be that one. Worked Over, and this actually placed it in the proper folder for me and everything. You see it's in sources books. Worked Over by Jamie K. McCallum. I don't own it. So let's say Worked Over is now in there. That's page XX. So I keep track of not all the books, most of the books that are mentioned, so that I have a big index so I can go to Worked Over and say, hey, did this get referenced by other things? Something else I think I'm going to try today is we're going to go back and open up Safari, and I'll say Amazon.ca. Not that. Worked Over. Jamie K. McCallum. Okay. So I'm going to just reference that at the end. So now we have a chapter 3 for me, 1 for what it's worth. And now I don't always do every chapter. Sometimes if it's a section. So I did that with Conspirituality. There was big sections and there was like 4 or 5 chapters in each. I just kept track of these sections to keep it organized. I don't actually even take all the notes out of here and make them into anything. So the next one, for what it's worth, chapter 1. When you over-identify with one aspect of your life, say work, a single snag in this area can cause you to lose self-esteem. So cultivate many sources of meaning in your life. I guess pretty straightforward. When you over one aspect of your identity, then a single snag in it can cause you to lose self. I should probably tag self-esteem. Self-esteem. Page 11. And so my subnote was, so cultivate many sources of meaning in your life. So now my question is, I think I am going to go, what am I going to do here? I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to say split note here, first line is file name. Done. So what that did was it created my new note, and it created it right here too. So first thing I'm going to do is adjust the title. I don't really want that. Well, this is going to be cultivate many sources of meaning in your life. I'm actually going to go like this. I'm going to say a good enough job is the citation here, page 11. Cool. And so now I can actually bring it in by adding the exclamation mark, which actually does the import. And I kind of like that as a writing idea. So I'm actually going to tag that as writing idea, because I want to be able to come back to that or have an easy way to surface that and come back to it at some point. And the big question is, how do you cultivate many sources of meaning in your life? What steps does it take? So then I could even go back to, say, actually Command P, projects, show projects, and I would create a new note. How do you life? I'm going to use the template that I've set up already, create note. And I think I classify this as a members article. So what that does, if I come in here and say, Command P for project, show projects. And now, because I hit true, it came over here into my members. It also goes into this board and puts that little purple line besides members stuff. So how do you cultivate? And so then I would say in here, I'd link to cultivate many sources of meaning in your life. So I've kind of moved that as a writing idea off. So in this case, since I actually took the time to do it, I would delete the writing idea tag, because I actually tagged it to something where it could be a project in the future, so I would leave it for now. All right, good enough job. How do you cultivate? Let's kill that. Let's kill the dashboard. And let's kill that too. That's the extra note. Perfect. Okay, next. Now we're on chapter 2. 2. Workism. The nuns. Let's look that up on Amazon first. The nuns. And there you go, the nuns. What's that one about? Oh, the Americans. That's interesting, because that would be a religion one as well then. Okay, so let's add a... I'm pretty sure I don't have the one, the nuns. Nope. So we'll go over here into worked over. Quick search, create new book note, the nuns. And I'm going to put the name in there, Ryan Burge. So this is... people that say the religious affiliation is none, and so this is religion. Let's say Christianity, faith, tags. No, tags is actually fine. So I want to link it to religion though. So this is tag notes. Disaster spirituality. That's the idea from con spirituality, where they use like traumatic events in your life to get you into their thing. Okay, faith, religion is fine. Looks like I have some to normalize there though. Christian, that's fine too. So now I'd come back here. The nuns, second edition, page 25. Good. So now I'm going to tag something. I'm going to go community is page 25, religion, page 25. So now that I know, if I come back to either of these tags, community or religion, I know page 25 talked about this stuff. It says really underneath it says so I know that if I'm doing a research project around these, that's a book to come back to for myself. It's like my personal big index. Next one is actually a book, so let's look it up. The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. So I already have that one in there. Perfect. Page 26. So that's why I keep these things long term. So let's actually look that up again. Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism. Just going to leave that in there. Not going to do anything with it right now. Next note, the spiral of silence. When your views go against social norms, it's easier to stay silent than to speak out. Ooh, I like that idea. I think that'd actually really be a tag note. Silence. Page 29. Let's open a new tab. Actually, you know what I can do? I can go here, hold command, and create that note. This would be a tag note. I would move it to tags when your beliefs go against norms. It's easier to stay silent than to speak out. Thus, no one knows. There you go. Spiral of silence. I like that one. You see this in religious communities, I suppose, even as I grew up in a fairly conservative Christian home. As my views have expanded to support the LGBTQ plus community, to support many other things that my parents would probably not love. It's, I don't talk to them about it, so I suppose they don't know. Cool. That's a nice one as well. Next, Bowling Alone. I have that. That's a book. Bowling Alone. Oh, is that really not in there? No. I literally own the book. What was this? I definitely own the book. Yeah, I own that book. Robert D. Putnam. I absolutely own the book. See, I last purchased the book. Huh. Weird that I don't actually have it already in here. I should. Like, I never even created it? Weird. I was sure that would be in there, because that would be search, creating a book note, Bowling Alone. Robert D. Putnam. I don't really care if it's a version. I owned soft cover. This goes with community, building. There you go. I know I have the book. Yeah, it's right there. I can see it. All right, anyway. No idea it wasn't in there, but it's owned. I know that, so now we can link to it. So Bowling Alone is like the big book, kind of one of the leading books on how community has continued to, I guess, degrade, to slow down, to not happen in the face of like loss of religious groups, bowling groups, stuff like that. That's why it's called Bowling Alone. Personal note. Well, one thing, I guess I didn't notice this, but if you can see right here, it says B. That's because I put a B beside books. T is tag, P is paper, PP is people. All the names are pretty obvious usually. So my personal note is, if you treat work like a religion and worship it, then anything less than perfect job work is a failure. Oh. As you can see, I changed that even since what I read. Why is it highlighting? Oh, probably because my book's touching it. So let's say religion. And you can hear my children outside worship. Do I have that? I don't. You can probably hear my kids outside too, because it is summer break, and that is just something that happens. Cool. So I finished this page. I'll tick by the page number so I know it's done. Now we're on to 3. 3. Love of labor. That's hard for me to spell because you spell it O-U-R in Canada. Book. So now we're on to a book. What color is your, not in there. What color is your parachute is the book. You know what? I already own this book, so I don't need to look at that. What is your parachute 2023? Okay, so search parachute. actually, as opposed to like what specific version I have listed. So now I go, color is your parachute. It's page 41. This is the book. The idea you should love your job. I always bold that. Need to be more than a way to provide food safety. It's the book that started it all. The whole even like, hey, we're a family. You must work more. Until we want to lay you off, then we're not family. Tough luck. We don't just take care of you, even though. If we all have a dream job and you're not in it, then you better keep hustling. Let's look up that note. Interesting. So let's come back here. We all have a dream job. Did I tag dream job in this? I did not, so let's create it. Job. Perfect. If we all have a dream job, let's finish this note off and then let's look at how these relate. Not currently in it. You better keep let's actually create a new note to hustle culture. Okay. YAML. My aliases will be hustle. And this is going to be a tag note. Tags. Done. I should also do hustling. Keep hustling. My dog is sneaking out the gate. I need to fix the gate. Keep hustling. You find it. Oh, you're a failure. Page 43. So I said actually exhaustion in my note, but burnout is a better one to tag with everything. Hustle culture is dealt with. Divorce and the dream job. So this is already set up as a members one. So what I could do is just say the good enough job, and then you do the caret character. What was it? If that's it, you'll have a dream job. And I've linked those two notes together so I can come back and reference that. I think I'll leave that there for now. Perfect. Work won't love. This is a book again. Work won't love you back. It won't. It doesn't care about you. Was I get that right? Work won't love you back. I didn't actually put who it's by, and it looked like there's two, but I'm just going to go with the one I chose. So book search, create a new book note. Work won't love you back. Let's look that look by Sarah Jaffe. Yep, there we go. Work won't love you back. Good enough job. Work won't love you back. Page 50. Perfect. If we recalled that we work to pay the bills, you may wonder why you work so much for so little. I love that. So let's actually create a new note for that. little. Underneath the question mark, page 50. I don't know. Why do you work so much for so little? This is actually going in notes. It's my note. If we called work bills, made little, and this is from, let's just go with this, good enough job, page 53. I totally get into this. Why do you work so much for so little? So I don't work so much, to be honest. Mondays, YouTube, bike shop in the afternoon. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for other people. Fridays, YouTube, usually, or my own thing, read books. Cool. And let's actually go like this and turn it into a embed. Is it 50? Oh yeah, I did. So that's actually wrong. Page 53 is correct. 53. Done. Can't even. So this has been referenced a few times now. 53. 2. So again, 2. There's also referenced in Burnout, which is probably an article based on the end number on it. So C-suite loves to push working for more than just money because it allows them to pay poorly and keep more. It's not a page, so I would just leave that. At this moment, because I don't have a page. 3, 4, lose yourself. Yes, I'm thinking of the Eminem song now. Workism leads to enmeshment. To create that one, this is a tag note. When you're defined by something, career, sport, thing, tag note, tags done. Enmeshment leads to enmeshment. This makes quitting the easy part, but when you have identity talked about this even being an issue with like your friends, when right? Plus if all your friends or work friends, you lose a bunch of them. It's an interesting thing they talked about a few times, how like you're no longer invited to the after work happy hour, so then you kind of lose your friends too. Yeah, kind of lose your friends because you were no longer invited to any of these things that you and your friends did because they were all work things. Oh, it's getting warm in here. Oh, and someone else wore this last, so the sleeves are too tight. That's an interesting thing, right? When you're going to lose your friends because you only had work friends. It's important not to define yourself by work. One of the many, many reasons. So now we have marks. What was it talked about in here? 73. And loneliness. Oh, I have it spelled twice. That's the right way to spell it. Page 73. Oh, it's not even created. So then we got to come over here, find out where I spelled it wrong. Backlinks. Lots of spots. How do you spell lol? There we go, that's right. Loneliness. Let's say linked mentions. Loneliness. Done. So this is definitely stuff I do during my research, is even just clean up my notes as I find things. Because the only way you're ever going to get the, get anything kind of cleaned up is if you just do it when you find the stuff. There you go, loneliness. Now there are no links to this, so we can delete this note. Perfect. Cleaned up. Loneliness, page 73. Next, people work all the time, so they don't know what to do when they aren't working. So they just work. Let's do this. Let's change this. Overwork. They vicious. How do you spell vicious? V-I-C-S. Cycle where you. A culture that valorizes side hustles, the message is if you're not getting ahead, you're falling behind. And I did that hustle one, didn't I? Hustle. I think I'd also say side hustle would go in there. It's all the same idea, that's why, right? It's something you have to do regularly when you read books is normalize the language between books and normalize your own language so that you are developing your own knowledge like I am. So let's do that. In a culture that uses side hustle. Five. Chips. It's not spelled right, but that's fine. You know what I should do? I talked about it. Families. I should go YAML. Aliases. Family. Should also be in there. And then I should spell it right. Like I said, normalize things. Because a family, that's never good for employees. They ask for long hours, less pay, and if you push back, you're not a family player. Job. This whole family thing. I really have had over the years had to talk to one or two contracts about that when they're like, you're not just putting an extra. I'm like, you pay me to do a job, so I do the job, and that's it. Like, I'm not family. I've even said like, so you're telling me that if we're supposed to be family, when they said that, if I caught cancer and got sick, you'd keep paying me? Like, wow, no. And it's like, then we're not family. Then we're not family. It's family for you because you think it'll get me to work more because I'll believe, no, this is my job. I will do my job and then I'll do it good and I'm going to go do other things like ride bikes, like do this stuff, like hang out with my kids. Like that's what family is. So I have a paper, Friends Without Benefits is a paper without fits. No. I probably need to go to Google Scholar. There we go. Say Friends Without Benefits. Friends Without Benefits, Understanding the Dark Sides of the Workplace. PDF at ResearchGate. Can I actually get it? Is the next question. Is there another spot I can get it? Friends with Benefits, Friend with Negotiating, Friends with Benefits, Relationships. There you go. Okay, so let's say Sci-Hub. Yes, I use Sci-Hub. And I do not feel bad about it. Friends Without Benefits. I'm just going to take them. Where's this going to take me? Okay. Okay. Let's go here. See if we can get it here. I can. Perfect. And I do have Zotero open over there, so let's just see if I can save that directly to Zotero. What did it bring in? Not what I was looking for. Move to trash, that version. So let's save it. And I'm going to go over to my downloads and just make sure that I've got it. There it is right there. Enter. Paste the actual title. Done. So now let's create the paper. Oh, Zotero and everything is too far away. I've got such big screens here. So what am I doing now? I'm actually just bringing this into Zotero here. It's not pasting, so let's drag and drop friends. Oh, and I'm still not seeing it. No. Why is it not coming in? I'm still not 100% sure on Zotero for things like this. There we go, Friends Without Benefits. So I've got it in here, and I can look up, and I showed a video before of doing this. So we'd title it, new note, paste, done, and then I can say, what is it? Tarot link insert, friends, there. That right there. And now I can say note template, and I want to actually grab the Zotero link in here and put it in like that. Do I have a URL where I got it from? I do. Right there, URL. And then I'd come over here and say Friends Without Benefits. Now it's in my inbox right now. I'd actually move it to sources, and I tag it as to read. I'd also tag it with Workism probably, and overwork. So now I've got that paper in there. Perfect. I actually really forgot to mark off this page. Let's mark off that one. All right, back to my notes. And that's on page, it's referenced what? Page 90. So much of work is only a reward for outworking your peers. appears. Next chapter, chapter 6. Off the clock. Most of think of overworked, overloaded works for me, overloaded, exec, checking, email, or people just to eat. I always think of the page 176. I always think of that person that's, you know, the high-powered exec and always working. But really, there's lots of people who work multiple jobs just so they can possibly eat. Come on, people. Taylorism is in here on page 118. Also, there's Frederick Taylor in his book, The Principles of Scientific Medicine. Principles. It's on page 118 as well. This is the guy who did the stopwatches and overinflated how good his work was, and it really was not that good at all. He was fired from lots of jobs and didn't really get the results that he claimed he did for people. So, but we all do Taylorism now. What was it? Taylor, Frederick Taylor. As a marketing person, Wade, success as a make your company more money, make page 120. I had 176 in there. That doesn't make sense then. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about it that much, because later on, I can even make a note here, I suppose. Okay. Note for later. Wouldn't worry about it for now. Page 130. This is also then, should look it up, Alex Sujung King Pang. Do I have it in here? Alex Sujung King Pang. Rest. Shorter. I think it was shorter. So that would be shorter. Page 130 as well. Let's just double check this. Sure, we live in a world that business operates 24/7. So both of his books, Shorter and Rest, are about working less, essentially. And he's where I first heard about the 4-day work week. So I should really come in here, even though some of my old notes are like this. And I probably do have a notebook with actual notes in it, but I took them and turned them into a written thing. So they won't have individual bullet points. I turned them fully into writing. Which again, I'm not going to go back and fix at this moment. I'm just going to do something like that, tag it so that I can have it for the future. Shorter. Okay, cool. Almost done the notes on this. 2 pages? Yeah, this last spread, and then we're on to manufacturing happy citizens, which will be for next time. 7. Work hard, go home. Perfect. So there's a bunch of books in here. 1984. Okay, let's add that book. I'm not gonna add it on Amazon because I'm not gonna get it. Search 1984 by Orwell. Done. Page 9, talking about the basically the techno utopia that has us observed as often as possible. And do I have in here Brave New World? I do not, by Aldous Huxley. Let's make sure we add that. I'm also not going to add this as a book to Amazon right now. I read that one in high school. I read a bunch of Aldous Huxley's books in high school. I was not, I don't know, not a huge fan at the time. I was in a very different state of mind at the time, where I would have found some of Aldous Huxley's books terrible for other reasons that go back to the Christianity thing. Orwell. $139. So yes, I tagged the people and the books there. Cubed. Do not have that one yet, so let's go to Amazon. CA. Cubed by Nikhil Saval. Back to Obsidian. Again, create the book. Oh, book to search. Cubed. Nikhil Saval. Done. Page 40. The office itself is a technology that ideally helps people get work done. Yes. Page 1. Which is funny when you look at how bad open offices are. They have like terribly distracting, but in theory, they're supposed to help people get stuff done. So I'm just going to the next book in here. Liquidate an ethnography of Wall Street. I shouldn't have that one, I don't think. Let's look. Nope. So we'll go book search, create a book note. Liquidated ethnography. I should do it. Oh, who did that book? That's a good question. Karen Ho is correct. Done. It's on page 142. I actually like that as a because I want the Wall Street thing in there. And if I come down here, so that changed the link. That is a setting you can do in Obsidian, or as a files and links, confirm deletion, automatically update internal links. Make sure that's turned on when you're using Obsidian. Karen Ho. All right. And this one, a world without email. I've read this before. It's by Cal Newport. 142. Open offices. As Dennis talked about looking at the pandemic and people realizing that they're office was just as disruptive as their home was. I'm pretty lucky in that most of the time when I'm working down here, I actually have headphones on, and so I can't hear everything that's going on around me. And I'm not recording, so you don't have to hear it either because I'm not recording. Anyways, status game. Right now I have in-laws over too, so it's just a little noisier than normal. When we say someone is successful, we rarely mean happy and healthy. Healthy. So we use money with happiness. Happiness rhetoric. Should we look up happiness? Sure, we'll look up happiness rhetoric for you. Oh, I don't even have it in there. Happiness rhetoric, 5 powerful studies. And there's a few different things that we just should always be happy, is ultimately what it comes down to from children. Well, let's bring that up. When we I should probably do this. As far as relationships, love, and we that last one always hits me tight, especially recently. We've had a few more friends divorce, and so I've been married for 20 years. I tell you, I don't always like my wife. She probably doesn't always like me. That's entirely fair. That's entirely fair. So again, harming children, harming yourself, happiness rhetoric, this like honestly terrible, harmful idea that we should always just be happy with everything. You shouldn't. Yeah, like that's just not how life works. Games, nope. That's a book by Loretta Graziano. Status games, why you play and how to stop. Loretta Graziano. Okay, that's a book note then. Loretta. Page 163. LSAT. There's another tag in here. Just talk about the LSAT. Probably one of my favorite. One on that. Let's open up LSAT. LSAT and the revisionist history episode. The tortoise and the hare is an excellent one looking at the LSAT one. Saying basically it's a terrible predictor of who makes a good lawyer. It's a good predictor who tests real fast, and that's about it. That's about it. And in fact, prioritizes the opposite thing that you would need, like in a judge later on, which is slow, deliberate thinking. Okay, paper undermining children's intrinsic interest with extrinsic reward. So I'll probably go Google Scholar again. Find that. Mining. There you go. Undermining children's intrinsic. A test of the overjustification hypothesis. Where are we going to go? We're going to go to Sci-Hub. so I noticed I did a little spelling mistake in there. Let's try that again. We do have it. Downloaded. Let's copy. Oh, can we not copy that? Copy. I'll delete the other paper I downloaded. Okay. Mining. Again, I'm actually just retitling the paper there. Bring that over so you can see what I'm doing. I just retitled the PDF there. Ugh. This is what is there a, no, I don't want to look it up with Google. Bah. More. Nope. Bring back Zotero. Okay, I admit I've been finding lately the drag and drop on macOS to be a pain in the butt. Inbox. Good, I have it. Okay. So then we'd come back to Obsidian, open, mining, children's, what is it? Children's, intrinsic, note template. Perfect. Let's say the tarot. There we go. Got my link. I have showed you how I set this up in Zotero as well, so there'll be a link to that somewhere for you to check out. There we go. Is there a URL with that? There was. Sources, tags, to read. Now I can do this under mining. Page 169. Done. Now I got a bunch of books. Dry by Daniel Pink is page 169. What's the next one? I don't have the artist's way in there. I am not going to add it to Amazon because it's not something I'm going to look at. Search. Heard lots about it, but I'm just not going to be getting it at the moment. Not interested. Way is page 175. Surf is where you find it. Let's look that up and see what that is. What's that about? Looks interesting to me. By Jerry Lopez. Interesting to me because I also really like outdoor stuff. So I have my, by Patagonia too, interesting. So I mean, Patagonia as a publisher, I've enjoyed a number of the books from Patagonia's founder. They're good. Range is also in there. By David Epstein. I like that one. 7.5. Perfect. Now we're on 9. Mark off my last page. page 182. Remember, this is supposed to be like a massive index, like your obsidian or your knowledge management database should be, in my opinion. It is also a massive index of everything you've read, so you can like go through it. You can find resources back out. So overwork, I don't need the information at the moment, but I know where to go find more information on overwork. Overwork. Systematic issue. Solutions are pushed workers to set degrees not it's an interesting idea, and I like that as a refactor extract selection. That's what I was looking for earlier. What is it? Overwork is a systematic issue, and that is found in is this going to be writing? I think this is going to be a writing idea, so I'm going to put in my my content template, and it's probably a member. No status is fine, and I'm going to move this to my, oh nope. I think I just created an extra folder. WOR, is there an extra folder now? There is. I don't want that folder. Delete. Delete, don't want that. Perfect. This is a member one. Overwork is a systematic issue, but the solutions are pushed on workers to set boundaries to stop being terrible. So sometimes I'll flesh these out too, clearly, as I'm doing. Capitalism wants you to believe you picked your life. Let's look that up for you. Wants you to believe you picked your life. And the idea is when your school's been underfunded and your parents have to work multiple minimum wage jobs and your city is spread out and it's poor, so it's easy to dive into the world around you. Right? Even the idea that you have to own a car to get anywhere, so you got to pay money to move because there's nothing in the city that's designed around you not having a car. But they want you to say that you chose your life. It's your fault that you didn't get very far because you chose it. Doesn't matter about systematic racism, oppression, all this stuff. This is what capitalism wants as well. It wants you to think that's your choice and the system was working just fine. It's all your problem. Because then you won't look at a broken system and say, hey, wait. How is this my fault? The whole system's busted. That's in my writing already. Overwork is a systematic issue. Page 22, and actually I had a sub note in my notebook saying look at that capitalism note. So here's his final suggestions on what to help. Let's say one entangle So yes, in this chapter, in this chunk, he talks about universal income, page 186. Every time I talk about universal income, someone in the comments is like, you don't even know, people wouldn't work. And all I can say is read the effing research, because the effing research says, yes, they will. It says they will work. Most people continue to work. Huge percentage, almost everyone continues to work. The few that don't, the detriment that they would bring to society by just not working and taking a handout is so small as to not even matter. So I'm in favor of universal basic income, even though I think I probably shouldn't qualify. My wife probably should, but I shouldn't personally. Because when I remove scarcity, this is really referencing the whole book, but it's an idea that scarcity makes it hard for us to even think about other things besides the immediate ball that's about to drop. People, they have room to think and build lives. So will people stop working? Actually, people will start working in some places, like that terrible job that nobody wanted, but they had to take because they just had to eat. So when they don't have to take that job anymore, those employers have to start, I don't know, paying better. So of course employers don't want this. They want you to just think, no, it's your fault. That's what they want. Leaders need to show what the work they job ads. But if the boss can respond to emails all the time, then they're setting the culture is that you should be as well. Find your version of good enough. No, I don't worry about capital stuff like that when I misspelled things like that. Not gonna worry about it. Way better things. Your job is a calling. There. And the final question, this is a really good question. Are you outside your productive self? Who are you outside your productive self? That's it. That is the whole book. And I've taken notes on, you've taken notes with me. So do I recommend the book? I would say yes, I really enjoyed the book. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing me take notes, developing into writing ideas, fixing up my vault a little bit. I'm actually probably going to do more of these coming up, just research sessions, because in part that feels like the videos I can do at the moment. Time is tight, and time is tight in part because I choose to work at the bike shop, because I choose to ride bicycles, other stuff like that. So that's also why my reading is low this year. I think I read about 12 books. And my next steps are I'm going to go back through that Amazon list and see if there's anything I really want to purchase. I'm not sure at the moment. I'm probably actually going to go with no, I'm not going to purchase anything, but we'll see if anything really stands out, because I think I bought like 6 books this weekend. So I got enough books right now. And then during my writing times on Fridays, I'll actually go in and flesh out some of these ideas, and I will take more member posts, more stuff like that. I'll turn them into more ideas, and maybe, write one or two, so I have 1 or 2 on deck is often how I try to have it. Have 1 or 2 ideas on deck, ready to go, and done, so I can just publish them on Fridays. There you go. If you like the video, thumbs up below, subscribe, hit the bell if you want. Actually, don't hit the bell. YouTube, you didn't want to. You just keep doing your stuff. But you can help support the channel by becoming a member. curtismckale.ca/membership. Take a course. curtismckale.ca/education. Or if you're on SkillShare, take one there. The links are below. Have an awesome day.